February 27th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is the incident of Hoping Hospital's shutdown 17 years ago. We know that the cluster in Taiwan Hospital is under control. It has no domestic cases for 3 consecutive days. But the incident of Hoping Hospital's shutdown 17 years ago has now become an issue. The shutdown then was a harsh lesson for all Taiwanese. We know that there were 7 medical personnel and 24 patients died due to the shutdown. The controversy now is that who made the decision? Was it the Taipei mayor, former President Ma Ying-jeou at that time from KMT, or the Chen Shui-bian administration from the DPP? Here are some points. A. Qiu Shuti, who was a former commissioner for the Taipei City Department of Health and was the one that in charge of the Hoping Hospital. We can see over here that when she entered the hospital in 2003, equipped with the protective suit, and this picture really caused a tremendous backlash from the public. Because medical personnel in Hoping Hospital, they don't have the equipment like hers. And all they had was mask and simple protective gear. Well, why is this 70-year-old incident being brought out now? I think one of the reasons is Qiu Shuti criticized how CCC deal with the COVID-19, and it caused anger from the public. Taiwanese people criticized her for making such a bad decision 17 years ago, and what qualifies her to criticize the medical personnel now? B. Who made the decision of shutting down? Well, according to official document, it was former Taipei Mayor Ma Ying-jeou who made the decision of shutting down in a breakfast meeting on April 24, 2003. However, the Executive Yuan held a meeting later that day around 10:30 a.m. As a result, the majority of Taiwanese people think it was the Taipei city government that decided to shut down. See, I don't think it is worth bringing out the issue now because the most important thing we should do right now is to control the pandemic. I think we should leave the past behind and learn from it. Well, on the other hand, what I want to talk about that I really care about is the WHO lists Taiwan as part of China on the website today. How many times did Taiwan have to emphasize that Taiwan is not a part of China and Taiwan is an independent country? Why WHO just can't get it? Here are the top stories. Today we have 3 confirmed cases. They are all imported cases coming from the Philippines, Burma, and the United States. First, I want to talk about an important meeting of semiconductors companies in Taiwan. Taiwan Minister of Economic Affairs Wang Mei-hua to hold a conference following countries around the world urging Taiwan to help ease the auto chip shortage. We know that many countries around the globe have asked Taiwan to persuade Taiwanese manufacturers to help ease a shortage of semiconductor chips in the auto sector. In response to it, Taiwan Minister of Economic Affairs Wang Mei-hua invites multiple manufacturers to discuss the issue. And they include TSMC, Taijidien, UMC, Liandian, and VIS, 世界先进. And there is a saying that there might be chips for vaccines. CCC head Chen Shizhong expressed welcome if these can work. On the other hand, U.S. newly appointed Secretary of State Antony Blinken passed the confirmation with 78 votes agree, 22 disagree. Blinken has been tough on China. He once said that Washington has an abiding and long-standing and bipartisan commitment to Taiwan and to the Taiwan Relations Act. Also, the German Chancellor Merkel criticized China's COVID transparency, and she said that we have to be honest. At the beginning of the pandemic, we have probably not been as transparent as we ought to be. For example, the information released by China as to the origins of the virus and also the information policy of WHO. Speaking of WHO, I really found it ridiculous, and so do many Taiwanese people. Taiwan expresses dissatisfaction as WHO listed as part of China. We can see over here that China's total deaths are over 4,600 and only 7 in Taiwan. However, WHO used the term Taiwan, China, saying that Taiwan is a part of China. Of course, Taiwanese people cannot accept it, and they ask WHO to change it. Today, global coronavirus cases top 100 million. We know that after it first emerged in Wuhan, China 1 year ago, almost 1.3% of the world's population has now been infected with COVID-19, and more than 2.1 million people have died. As for Japan, Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga apologized to the public. And he said, as one in charge, I feel terribly sorry. We have not been able to provide the necessary care, and I recognize that because of this, the Japanese people are feeling anxious. Talking about the U.S. politics, Biden pressed the Russia president on several issues. President Joe Biden held his first call with Russia President Putin, confronting him over a range of issues from a recent massive cyber attack to the suspected poisoning of the country's leading opposition figure. Last but not the least, let's look at Trump's impeachment. Why convicting him just got a lot harder? We can see in the first on-the-record test of support of conviction on impeachment charges that Trump incited supporters to mount an insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. 45 of 50 Senate Republicans voted to stop the trial before it even starts. So we can know that in the whole thing is that we know that most of the Republicans kind of support him. So it is hard for people, really, for the Senate try to impeach him on February 9th. But we will see in the future. So this is Catherine from Taipei, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. I'll see you again.